I can't say the N-word, but you can get on YouTube and watch any black man's rap video, and they're calling each other the N-word. What the hell is this discrimination? I'm white, I can't say the N-word and they can't. And then we got the United States Department of Agriculture refusing to issue people's licenses because they live in a city that the city's called Gay, Georgia. The hell is this?
He's got a point.
They declared the word gay to be offensive. Let me tell you something. I'm as gay as a $3 bill, and I'm standing in a cage with 5 full-grown tigers and lions. And I'll goddamn guarantee you I'm a hell of a lot butcher than any of you straight politicians that are getting jobs in the back office. The good thing about all this is you got to pay for your shit. I can just go to a bookstore and stick it through a hole and get it for free.
Well, if you're anything like me and millions of other people, you're stuck at home. And you've probably seen The Tiger King. And if you haven't seen it, an annoying amount of people have told you you need to watch it. And I'm not going to be that person. I'm going to let some of the memes, some of the stories throughout this video do that for you. Now, you can't have anything good these days without fake outrage. Outrage from people that aren't really offended, but want likes and retweets. And some of the backlash over Tiger King is warranted, and we're going to leave that kind of thing alone. However, some of it is ridiculously hilarious, and that we will make fun of. Now, a lot has actually happened since Tiger King aired about 2 weeks ago. Interesting stuff. Now, interestingly, and most recently, they have reopened the case of Don Lewis's disappearance due to fan outpouring of theories and tips. This according to Time. There's some new news in the wild world of Netflix docuseries Tiger King. The Hillsborough County Sheriff, I've got a Tiger King here. I'm a bit of a Tiger King myself, if I do say so. Oh, chunky monkey. Yeah. Are you a tiger? Are you a tiger? Sorry about that distraction. Quote, I would be foolish if I didn't take advantage of the show's popularity and put the message out that if you think you know something, you should contact the Sheriff's Office, Hillsborough County. Sheriff Chad Cronister Time. This is very important to us. The latest number I saw reported was that they're getting 6 to 7 new tips a day. Now, who knows if they're complete and utter garbage? I'm sure they are. But what if? It's not like anyone has anything else to do. I myself have watched the entire series twice. Once alone or with a friend of mine, kind of. And then another, we got her, not kind of, he's my friend. We basically forced her to watch it because it's just like, you'll never believe how crazy this is. This is like, you can't really describe it. The 7-episode series, co-directed by Eric Good and Rebecca Chaiklin, explores the lives of big cat owners. Everyone knows that. If you don't know that, you can watch the trailer and get a good idea of it. Now, Carole Baskin, though, has stolen the spotlight as basically the villain. Now, in my opinion, Carole, are you hearing me? In my opinion, it's entirely possible that she fed her husband to the tigers. I'm just saying, in my opinion, Carole.
No, it wasn't me. It was the one-armed man.
However, Baskin had her own complicated past, as depicted by the Tiger King, following the disappearance of her second husband, millionaire Jack Don Lewis, in August 1997. Baskin has become the target of rumors that she had fed him to the tigers and that those were perpetuated by Exotic and others. Baskin's vitriolic relationship with Exotic is at the center of Tiger King's plot. In fact, it really was one of the things, in my opinion, that led to his downfall. Now, no one has ever been arrested or charged with the Lewis's disappearance, persons in the case, and Baskins has consistently denied these rumors. Of course she would. In a March 31st blog post, the Big Cats Rescue website, Baskin spoke out against Tiger King's portrayal of the events surrounding Lewis's difference. This coming from someone who pretends she's running a rescue, but she's really running a weird for-profit cult where she gets 70 to 100 volunteers to come in and work for free and work 50 hours a week. Just saying. Quote, There are not words for how disappointing it is to see that the series has had the sole goal of being as salacious and sensational as possible to draw viewers. Really? You're surprised by that. As part of that, it is a segment devoted to suggesting with lies and innuendos from people who are not credible that I had a role in the disappearance of my husband Don in 1997. The series presents without any regard for the truth, or in most cases even giving me an opportunity before publication to refute the absurd claims. They did not care about the truth. The unsavory lies are better for getting viewers. Well, you know what? To be honest with you, I mean, what do you want? It's not presented as fact. The show is letting people talk. I mean, there are obviously a lot of things that Joe Exotic said throughout the show that he was clearly lying about at the time. But most people knew that. Now you see the tweet. Since Netflix and everything has made Tiger King all the rage, I figure it's a good time to ask for a few new leads. What a great social media post. All the hashtags and everything like that. Pretty interesting. He's hoping that someone involved with Big Cat Rescue, then named Wildlife on Easy Street at the time of Lewis's disappearance, might be able to offer some new information. But on top of that, the outrage. Netflix's Tiger King is a massive hit. Now the backlash has arrived. Right on schedule, the Tiger King backlash has arrived. It happens frequently with true crime documentaries. The series drops, people become obsessed, and then memes hit their peak, and a wave of criticism follows. With Tiger King, Netflix's shocking 7-episode docuseries, should have been 6, by the way, that sent the internet into a frenzy, it was only a matter of time. The most watched program on Netflix for nearly 2 weeks, the series dives into a world of big cat zoos, the controversy of people who run them. We know this, right? Now, in recent interviews, co-directors Eric Good and Rebecca said that Joe recently filed a $94 million lawsuit with the federal government for damages, including false imprisonment. He won't win that. But he's also truly thrilled about his newfound star status. But there were plenty of others who weren't happy with the documentary. Animal rights people didn't like it. After the series released, both the Humane Society and PETA, I don't care what PETA has to say, said the producers glossed over the issues around the tigers. Sure, but it was, I mean, pretty well implied. I mean, I don't think anybody watched this show and thought, boy, those tigers are really living their life. People are watching the show thinking everybody's garbage. The animals are the real victims who are caught up in this human drama. Yeah, we know that. Everybody knows that. I mean, right? When asked about not showing brutal scenes with the animals, the director said, "We had to thread the needle carefully so that in the end of the series, it wasn't preachy or a voice of God telling you how to feel about these things and the isolation of tigers. We want people to come to their own conclusions at the end of the day, decide for themselves, and hope they came with the outcome that this was a very cruel and bad practice." Of course. Of course. Everybody knows that. Those have seen new footage of Joe. That's right. Over the weekend, a clip circulated around Twitter that appears to show Joe complaining that he can't say the N-word. TMZ reports it's from previous footage. I didn't think that clip was that bad. Obviously, it might shock you to find out I'm not black, but it wasn't like he was just making a really sloppy, low IQ free speech argument. That's what I think. Doc, the owner of Myrtle Beach Safari, which recently was raided, is also not happy how he was portrayed. The series aired allegations of him ending tiger cubs when they got too old to pose, and is in a now deleted Instagram post, he called the series sensationalized entertainment with paid participants. I'm sure he was paid too. Director said they paid for photo licensing and life rights, but not for interviews. In an interview with TMX, he said that allegations were lies. Nothing more ridiculous has ever been said. No one does that. He's also upset that the series focused on his multiple younger girlfriends. I have girlfriends. I'm a single guy. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I didn't have a problem with it. Doc also said he was not told the series would focus on Joe and Carole. He thought that the producers amped up the madness. This is not a documentary, he said. This is a salacious, outrageous ride through a television show produced to create drama. Says the guy with 5 wives and a cult, basically. But here's the real outrage. Viewers who notice they misgendered Saf. You know, the worker that got their arm ripped off?
The one-armed man.
The documentary interviews one of Joe's employees, Saf, who was mauled by a tiger. Although Saf is a transgender man, the series used his old name. While this has been roundly criticized, Chalklin told Variety that she recently had a long conversation with Saf about whether they should go back and make changes, and quote, he's very relaxed about it, and really, to him, it doesn't matter. What a great example of fake outrage, right? Like, literally, they came and said, yeah, I don't care about this. Don't care. Jeff Lowe jumped in to buy Joe's Oklahoma Zoo when Joe spent all of his money on legal fees battling Carole. Although he and his employees make it seem like Jeff stole the zoo out from under him, Jeff vehemently disagrees. They touched on about 10% of the story, he told the news. The portrayal of us stealing the zoo from Joe was very unfair. I don't think he stole the zoo. I think he took advantage of an idiot who was obsessed. But, I mean, the zoo had no value. What he basically stole was a giant debt. That's all I can say. Because we came here to help him. I don't believe that. We got it back on its feet, so the notion we tried to steal the zoo from him was just ridiculous. But he felt the rest of the series was pretty accurate, even though he told producers, I wish you had done things a little differently. So he didn't even have... He had an ultra mild critique, but apparently misgendering a random character. And in fact, actually, I believe it's what you call dead naming, right? I think. The not awful person in Tiger King is a trans man who was misgendered throughout the series. Instead of just saying that they're not awful, you have to take up for them when they said they didn't care. Robert Moore, 8. Not really trivia, but a useful piece of info for anyone in the show. Saf, the person who got mauled by the tiger, told me repeatedly that he is trans and prefers to be called Saf, not Kelsey, and uses he, him pronouns. Please do likewise. But that person isn't offended either. I mean, nobody cares. This is Robert Moore, by the way, the campaign, I think. No, Moore. On one night in 2015, Joe and I were walking through Walmart, and a portly, bespectacled young gay guy walked up, shook Joe's hand, and thanked Joe for being the only out and proud gay man for many miles when he was growing up. That kid was Josh Dial, who later ran Joe's campaign. They don't really talk about that either. The show has faced some scrutiny for pretending bi-ness doesn't exist. While the documentary doesn't shy away from depicting Joe Exotic's sexuality, it's clear many of the other queer people involved in the saga, not least Saf and Josh Dial, had their lives elated for the sake of storytelling. Fans also question why the documentary would so strongly focus on the fact that Joe Exotic's husband would also hook up with women, and touts it as, quote, proof that they cannot be attracted to men. Is that true? I mean, I don't know. I just think if I'm watching it, if I'm using my opinion and what I know about meth and things like that, he turned them out. That's what he did. He found somebody who was already on the pipe and then turned him out. There's such a thing as gay for pay. I mean, just because that doesn't mean that they're bi. That just means that they're willing to lay with a guy as long as he keeps them getting them what they need. That's what I saw with it. But anyway, I just thought this video would be a little bit of fun, a little bit of memeing, because, hey, we've had some serious news this week. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't seen Tiger King, I recommend watching it. What else have you got to do? I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.